I ran exactly across that track, all climbed the fence, the crowd's going crazy. I get goosebumps now thinking about it. You know, I got into racing when I was 6 or 7 years old with my dad. My dad was a pure motorhead from the 50s or 60s, and he lived and breathed it. And for fun, he would go to what we call club racing, amateur racing, and work on cars and help his friends. And as soon as I was 6, 7, he would start letting me come to the race weekends, and they would stuff me down in the cockpit, and I would clean the pedals where they didn't want to get, and I just loved being there. And he just taught me so much about cars. I could always I could tell a V8, a straight six, a 4-cylinder, or what brand it was, if it was turbocharged. I just had this crazy motorhead upbringing, and just knew probably by the time I was 15 or 16 that, you know, there's no college for me, and I'm going to drive race cars, and we're going to ham and egg it to get there because we're not a wealthy family. And it all started with the basis of a motorhead father. IMSA are the basis of where Mike Shank is today with my partner Meyer. IndyCar, sports car at the highest level with a great manufacturer in Honda, Acura, HRC. That all started somewhere, and it started with a series that allows people like me to have a shot, to compete against guys like Penske, Ganassi, and McLaren. You know, all those. You know, we can come in. I'm from Gahanna, Ohio. There's 15,000 people there. We weren't poor, but we weren't doing stuff like this, so we had to get creative on how we get there. And this IMSA allowed us to do that. And what you're going to love about the race, and you're going to see immediately, is the openness of the paddock, the garages, the drivers. They're right there next to you. You go to a NASCAR race, you go to an F1 race, you ain't getting that close. Here, you're in it. We start with expectations. How do we win these races? This is what we expect, and it's almost always to be on the pole and win the race. It really takes, I think, an ability to absorb problems and react to problems.
Yeah, he dropped a wheel, I think, coming through turn 2 there.
More importantly to me is the recovery when it doesn't go perfect. How do we avoid the death spiral, which can happen just like this?
Managing to get it back, and he's now back to speed, so he must feel the car's okay, Peter.
It still happens to us, but we try to go all through these scenarios. Start with expectations and then start running scenarios. And what do we do if? And then when it goes bad, how do we react to that? And do we crucify people, or do we pick them up? And we almost always pick them up. It's the only way. Because nobody is here wanting to do a bad job or make a mistake. Nobody wants that, especially with the size of program. We are at the Rolex 24 today. So the feeling of winning this race, imagine you're a tennis player win Wimbledon, a golfer wins Augusta, the Kentucky Derby wins. That's exactly it. Indy 500, winning the Indy 500. There's elite events that when you think about, competing is one thing, but when you actually win one of those, it is unbelievable. We started coming here in 2004, and it was always the Rolex 24. And I said to my wife, no matter how rich or poor we are, I'm never buying a Rolex until I earn them. And now we have 3, and I couldn't be more proud of that fact. And one that sticks in my mind was we won in 2023. Helio Castroneves was driving for us then, and I'll never forget us sitting in the pit lane where we're at today. We ran exactly across that track, all climbed the fence, the crowd's going crazy. I get goosebumps now thinking about it. It's just a really unique event that I think if more people got out to try, they would love it, at least once in their life.